Sometimes it's not so good to be a hero. When I was a kid, I remember my mother, I would constantly ask her to help me with this, with that, and she would say, "You could do it yourself. You need to learn to rely on yourself." And I must say, at the time, it was probably a little annoying. Sorry, Mom. However, I came across wisdom over the years. And as you'll hear in this story, it's been immensely valuable, and we'll talk about why. So this Stephen Karpman model, the drama triangle, profound. Most people see it, and immediately it starts to click. They say, yep, this happened here, this happened there. In fact, just yesterday, we were here doing sound check, and one guy in the back, who I promised to keep anonymous, said to me, "Wow, that looks like where I work." And some of you may be thinking, "Wow, this looks like where I live." I hope not, but maybe. A couple of definitions. The victim says, "Woe is me. Why is this happening to me? It's someone else's fault that this is happening to me." And they blame the villain. The villain could be a person, or the traffic, or the weather, or the economy. It's whomever they're blaming, so they take no responsibility. And then they go seeking solace in a hero. The hero says, "I can fix it. I'll take your pain away. I'll make it all better." So show of hands, how many of you play victim? Just kidding. Seriously, how many of you play hero? Thank you. How many of you play villain? Anybody ambidextrous? Good, it's a good skill. One time, after talking about this, during the break, the cookies showed up. I grabbed a hot, gooey, lovely chocolate chip cookie and started chomping on it, and really enjoying it. But what I said to my neighbor, "Damn it, 80 times a year, I'm in these hotel rooms, eating these unhealthy snacks. Can't they have something better for us?" You see this coming? And she says, "Mo, are you playing victim?" Ouch, that hurt. Now, I owe her a big thank you. As a result of her question, my cookie consumption has gone down 62.5%. I measured it. Because not a single cookie enters my mouth anymore that's someone else's fault. I still eat them. I love them. Never is it somebody else's fault. Here's the sad thing. Was I playing victim? Yes. Was I blind to the fact that I was playing victim? Absolutely. And we're just talking about a cookie. Where else in life do we do this? The hero. When my son was 18 months old, he took the binky out of his mouth, dropped it on the floor, and started crying in a tantrum fit for his binky. Victim? I bent over, picked it up, and gave it to him. Hero? So hopefully I don't do that as much. She'll have to check in with my wife. The part I can't get over is how I, as a 40-year-old man, was manipulated by an 18-month-old kid. Very tough. And much like my friend backstage said, this happens in the workplace. It's called triangulation. I complain to you about him. And we have a hero, and we have a villain, and we have a victim, and we have dysfunction, and we have mistrust. Not so good. So by now, you're asking, what's the alternative? There's got to be a better way. And there we have the empowerment dynamic. Instead of the hero, we have a coach. The hero gave you the answers. The hero said, I want to save the day because it strokes my ego. And here's the answer. Here's the solution. Whereas the coach says, what do you think the answer is? Instead of the villain, we have a challenger. The villain says, what's wrong with you? Enough already. I've had it. And the challenger says, I know you could do better. I've seen you do better. You're brilliant. But this is not your best work. And instead of the victim, we have a creator. Where the victim was focused on the problem, the creator is focused on the solution. A couple of stories here that really warm my heart. One time, this guy raises his hands and says, I just got it. And I said, what'd you get? He said, well, my parents raised 4 kids, every one of us a success. What are the odds? Since my daughters were born, 15-year-old daughters, 2 of them, twins, I've been banging my head against the wall, wondering, what did my parents do right? I got it. He said, my mom and dad never played hero. Never played villain. My mom was always the coach. My dad was always the challenger. P.S. They raised a bunch of creators. So the second story, after talking about this, a few months later, I ran into a guy who said to me, I owe you a thank you. And I said, for what? He said, my father and I were stuck in the drama triangle for 10 years. I changed my tune. Our relationship is beginning to change. Which brings me to the new definition of hero. I think the hero is the coach. I think the hero is the challenger. I think the hero is the creator. I think the hero is the hero of my own journey, not being the hero of someone else's. And at this point, I need to thank somebody that I talked about at the beginning of this story. Mom, will you please stand up? So as a single mother, you were a creator. You moved us to this wonderful country. And you played my coach. You played my challenger. You created a creator. And that begun me on my own journey to be my own hero. And for that, thank you.